reading a book the other day.
Reading a book?
Yes, it's all about civilization or something. A nutty kind of a book. Do you know that the guy says that machinery is going to take the place of every profession?
What do you say?
No.
Tomorrow night?
No.
Next year?
No.
Good. Because by me it's this way. The longer they know, the harder they yes.
Well, I don't want to be honorable with you unless it's absolutely necessary.
It's Hard-Headed Sports with Spinny and Fetty Bus. Famous for their podcasts, you can now catch them right here on The Al Travis Show.
We've got them, Spinny and Fetty Bus. Thanks, gentlemen, for being on the program. Start with you, Bus. Are you guys about up and running up there with the Viking basketball team?
Yeah, actually, this Thursday is our first practice. So.
Oh, good for you. Okay,
Getting
so
excited.
you'll keep us posted. You're like 3-time back-to-back-to-back champs, right?
Yeah, we are. Hopefully we can keep that going and get 4.
And how do you think the team looks? Pretty good? I mean, you like what you got? I mean, you 2-3 years ago you had a massive big guy. You haven't had that since, but you made the workaround.
Yeah, we still have a ton of talent for sure, especially at the guard position. We just have a lot of new faces in the program this year, so it's going to take a little bit at practice, to get everything implemented and getting the team together. So that'll be a work in progress, obviously, but the talent's there. So
fantastic, good luck. And Spinny, how are the Ole Gals volleyball team doing?
Good, yeah, on a 6-game win streak currently.
There we go.
Doing our jobs. Got a conference match on Friday and then a little try on Saturday. So 3 more matches this weekend.
Go get them, my friend. Go get them, Ole Gals. All right, we were going to talk Minnesota Vikings right off the top because, of course, they lost. It was horrible as in Ireland. But that gets wiped off the map, guys. We're going to have to start with baseball. I know Spinny's not a big fan of the Minnesota Twins, but it is the story of the day in my book. Rocco Baldelli is given the boot. He has been fired because, of course, the Twins lost 92 games this year. I'll start with you, Spinny. You're a hothead on this. We have to blame Rocco, right? The problem with this team is not that we gutted it in any way. It's Rocco wasn't a good enough manager to make Division III players win in the majors.
Al, you're on your rage baiting. You're on your rage baiting mode today, huh? That's what you're going for right now.
That's me. Yeah.
I mean, I think you know. I mean, Rocco. Listen, was Rocco my favorite manager? And did I think he was top tier? Absolutely not. And did I eventually think we needed a new manager? For sure. But like you said, this season was not Rocco's fault. And you can't, it's back to the polishing a turd analogy. You can't win with consistently worse talent than other teams that you're playing against. So I don't think this was all Rocco's fault, but I'm also not necessarily mad at him getting fired because he wasn't the best manager of all time.
Buzz, rip Spinny a new one here. This was the AL Manager of the Year in 2019. Baseball hasn't changed enough in 6 years that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Buzz is just mad because he hates the Twins. Spinny's mad because he hates the Twins.
Well, I mean, I hate the Twins at this point, too. It's driving me insane. Of course.
How does he win the AL Manager of the Year 6 years ago, and now he's so horrid? We have to fire him.
6 years ago is like a millennium ago in baseball, Al.
What is baseball, except for the weird crap you guys are trying to get changed so it's more fun for you kids? This game's the same. How do coaches the same?
I mean,
it's
obviously not his fault that the ownership guts the roster every season, gutted the off season, I should say, and guts the roster at the deadline this year, right? So he's the fall guy, and I think we knew it was going to trend in this direction and happen this way. So, I mean, this is a trend within the Twins. You got to blame somebody. It's usually always the coach. So it's kind of unfortunate, but.
Did either of you read what President Derek Falvey said about it was really his fault and he feels horrible, he's got to let Rocco go? How do those two lines go together? He's the one who fired everybody. He's the one who cuts budgets every time we have a decent season, and he goes, I'm sorry, it's my fault. I got to cut Rocco.
Yeah, that is crazy. I didn't see that, but
again,
this all falls on the ownership. Everything can go back to them. They're the ones who make the calls, and it's just kind of ludicrous to me because now they're going to hire a new guy and do the same thing over and over again with this guy too, and then he'll eventually be fired and blamed for it. So it's probably a never-ending cycle here with the Twins as long as the Pohlads are the owners.
Spinny, he was the third winningest coach in Minnesota of all time. That wasn't enough for you. What's it going to take to get you back to being a Twins fan before next season?
Well, you know what he had in common with the two coaches above him on the wins list? They all got fired.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean,
His resume.
all-time wins don't necessarily bring it. But listen, it's going to take some revamping, some getting players that I actually believe in, and a team that's actually, like, half okay. Like, I don't need the Yankees or spending like that, but, like, a team that I actually think could be respectable and win the division. I mean, the Tigers go 8-25 in their last 30 whatever games, and we're still not even within 25 games of them. So that's the thing for me. It's just like I need a competitive level roster.
All right. Are you guys with Hard-Headed Sports? By the way, the podcast you should be downloading if you haven't heard them yet. With your podcast, will you guys be covering the MLB postseason then?
Oh, yeah, we'll be dropping our playoff predictions here soon.
All right.
Probably tomorrow morning. So
let's sneak out a little something for the fans here of the Al Travis Show. Like Spinny said, they won 8 of 25, the last 25 games or something. Detroit did. They are underneath, they're sixth now. Guardians take the lead. And in game one of their series, Detroit and Cleveland, Detroit is favored to win. How is that possible?
It's kind of crazy. On the road, too.
Yeah. At the money line, anyways, it's a negative 165. I believe that means they want them to win. Am I missing something?
I think it's just down to the pitching matchup, right? Tariq Skubal's obviously opening game one. It's Gavin Williams for the Guardians, so that's how dominant Tariq Skubal is always. That's why I would imagine that they're favored. And honestly, I do actually kind of like the Tigers in game one with Tariq Skubal pitching. So
fair enough. Spinny, who do you got there?
Yeah, I'm going to take Cleveland in the series, but the Tigers in game one. I think it'll be 2-1 Cleveland on the back end win.
All right, so you're both going with Cleveland. I want to go through the series here quick until we get you back on Thursday. The Yankees and the Red Sox, of course, that'll be the most watched series in the whole thing, right? Who wins that and why?
I think I'm going with the Red Sox just because of the fact that the Yankees are just perennial choke jobs in the playoffs. I don't know. I just feel like they always choke. Obviously, last year they made a decent run, but
history is the reason he's picking them. Spinny, your thoughts?
I'm picking the Sox. I think I like their bullpen better. I like the starting pitching is about the same. Yankees obviously have the better hitters. So I'm just going to go slightly pitching Red Sox, and I think that wins in the playoffs, so we're going to go the Sox.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. On the other side of it, we have L.A., which is strange to me that they're in third. Third-ranked L.A. going against the Reds. We're all going L.A. there, right?
Yeah, I can't pick against the Dodgers in this series.
Yeah. And the final matchup on that other side, the Cubs and the Padres. Any thoughts? I really don't know.
This one is maybe the biggest toss-up to me out of the four series.
Okay.
I am going to lean Cubs, though, in this one.
Ooh, I'll take the Padres. I'll be the different guy. I haven't been big on the Cubs all year, and they've consistently been better than I thought they were going to be. So I might as well double down and pick against them again.
Wouldn't that be fun? The Cubs and the Brewers. Those fans would go back and forth between those two places. It would be rowdy as all get out if they end up winning. It would. That would be an interesting one. All right, we're going to go to break. We got a lot more to talk about here in Minnesota. It's very Minnesota sports week this week. Everything that you think is going to make you unhappy is happening in Minnesota. We'll talk more sports right after this with the Hard-Headed Sports guys, Spinny and Fetty Bus.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Tired of one-sided media and divisive noise drowning out your conservative values? Take back the conversation with Braver Angels. Join a grassroots movement to restore civility and find common ground without compromising your principles. As a conservative, your voice matters. Share your perspective on issues like immigration and public health in Red Blue workshops and help rebuild trust in our great nation. Be a leader in depolarizing America. Sign up for free at mn.braverangels.org. Braver Angels, where conservatives, liberals, and independents unite for a stronger republic.
The Al Travis Show, the last place you can go and hear all sides. Respectful, thoughtful, and grateful.
We've got Spinny and Fetty Bus on on our program today from Hardheaded Sports. Let's switch over to the Minnesota Vikings quiz because we haven't talked about them yet. It's just blatantly obvious, and I don't care who you have for a quarterback, the offensive weaponry you have, a guy's got to have enough time to let a play develop. We do not have it with the offensive line we have. I know we've had injuries, guys, but you don't have quality backups. You know that's where everything begins and ends. Boss, am I wrong? The problem with the Minnesota Vikings is an offensive line.
I would say that's the biggest problem right now, definitely. Our sack rate, I believe I saw, was the second highest in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
You're just not going to win games if your quarterback's constantly under pressure like that. So I would agree that's the biggest issue so far.
And the other one would be, again, was the same front line spin. I'm going to throw it to you, is the pre-snap fouls. These guys are moving all the time. They're jumping off sides. They're just doing stupid. What was the one last week? This was after the hike, but the guy was downfield on a screen pass. He was upfield too far. This is just stupid stuff.
Yeah, it is hard there because, all of them have been out at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly and O'Neal obviously were out. O'Neal looks like he's going to be out multiple weeks with that MCL sprain. That's obviously big. Donovan Jackson, the rookie, missed last week, so we had to endure Blake Brandel again. And Darisaw obviously missed the first 2 weeks and then has been back and solid. But even Will Fries was out a week. So all of our 5 top offensive linemen have missed some time, and it's just hard to get any cohesiveness early in the season when they haven't played together.
All right, so are you saying if they get back, we're going to be okay, or what? We're a quarter of the way through, and we're one game out of first place. In fact, the whole division was just one game. Do you think we're still in this?
100%, I think we're still in this. I think getting our offensive line back, getting some protection is a big part of it, but also, when you're watching those games, Carson Wentz holds the ball too long. There are plays where he is getting hit early and needs to, it's offensive line's fault. but there's been so many instances where he's holding it for 4 to 5 seconds and getting sacked for no reason. So there has to be an adjustment on that. I mean, that's been his big knock his whole career. Like, that's kind of who he is, but we got to be a little bit better from that perspective as well.
But you look at him, he had 2 touchdowns, 350 yards passing. This is our second stringer bus. If you said bring the second string in, can he give me 350 and 2 DDs, I'd be pretty happy.
I think a lot of that fell on the game script, though, since we were down so much.
Right.
We had to throw a lot. But, yeah, I mean, he played all right. I wouldn't put everything on him, but I do agree with Spinny. He does hold the ball too often. But I do think we're also still in it, and I think it helps that the Packers drop a game like to the Cleveland Browns, right? So that'll always help.
It'll be interesting. Your guys' thoughts now on the I guess we'll get into it in depth on Thursday when you're back. But how do you fix a front line then if you're in Europe? Another reason we shouldn't be over there besides the 8:30 flipping start times. How do you get a guy? If you think one of your guys is going to be out, the concussion guy, he's got to be out now for a couple of weeks. How do you call somebody from someplace in the middle of the country and say, oh, by the way, get a plane ticket, get yourself over. You're flying over to the pond. Try to join us for the week. The week's almost over. You can't even get anybody over there.
Yeah,
just play with what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of do got to just play with what you got in this situation. Like, we have enough backups, we'll be okay, and you're not teaching anybody the system across overseas in 2 days. So
that's what I'm saying.
I just think you kind of are what you are, and you'll get back and regroup, and if you need to sign a couple guys, you'll do it at that point.
Yeah, but back and regroup is interesting, Bus. We come back, Eagles, Chargers, Lions, Ravens.
Post-bye, and we play the Browns in the second game in England.
Yeah. All right, let's switch over. Are the Lady Lynx done? And what I mean by that, they're out for the tournament, I get that. But they literally collapsed on themselves, losing the third game. They had a 20-point lead in the third. They had a 15-point lead, I think it was, in this last game. The coach went bedtime for Bonzo. I'm okay with the coach taking a technical foul and getting kicked out to motivate the ladies. But this girl went off the rails and was yelling the Effenheimer at the crowd. Does she need to go? Thoughts? Bus?
No, you can't let her go. She's a 4-time champ, one of the best coaches in the WNBA.
She's swearing at the crowd. Spinny, tell Bus we have some standards, even here in Minnesota.
I mean, I don't know. Number one, look at how many 3 coaches were fined for coming out and supporting Cheryl Reeve in their press conferences because they agreed with her. Coaches that were not even involved in the situation at all. Multiple, huge media sources across the nation that don't even get involved in the WNBA have said how crazy and unfair the reffing and everything has been against the Lynx for 2 seasons. Our best player gets her entire leg rammed through and breaks her foot, and it's not even a foul call on the play. I'm with Cheryl Reeve and everything she did, and I think it was that motivation thing. She knew post Nafisa it was going to be hard to win that game, and she was going to amp everybody up by getting thrown out and all that. So I'm with Cheryl.
All right. But
the biggest issue for the Lynx going into next season is the fact that practically the entire roster is a free agent. So there's a lot of turnover, and they're going to have to make a decision on who to bring back. So that'll be the biggest issue for them.
See, but you guys seem to understand Rocco's got to go, right? This is what happens when you lose. This, and I'm not calling for head, by the way, this Lynx team was supposed to win it all. We're out in the second round. And that's not enough. Now all her players are going to leave. We're going to have a whole new lineup, and we just keep her even though she's yelling the Effenheimer at the crowd. I don't know. It seems like a double standard to me.
She's got 4 rings, though, Al.
Then how you act doesn't matter. Let's throw chairs across the basketball court, right, Buzz?
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying she can't just get fired for losing in the second round when she still made it farther than 85% of the teams in the league.
We gotta fly. I'm out of time. Love you guys. Spinny, how do I pick up Hard Hitted Sports, by the way, especially when you drop down your baseball one here next couple days?
YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Check us out. We'll do some baseball playoff predictions.
Appreciate you both. Get them back in here on Thursday. We'll talk predictions for the game on Sunday.
Think about it. A famous